Hey everybody! I'm back. I didn't go live yesterday. I'm just going to start with the truth. I am so excited to be back on ZTV. And if anybody has been outside and looked at the moon, it is magnificent. I forgot to turn on TikTok. Let's go. Click the button, sis. Hi, how are you? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Tonight is going to be live spiritual Q&A support. Hello, Joyce. Hello, hello. Where are you tuning in from? Hello, TikTok. Hello, Facebook. Hello, LinkedIn. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Twitch. Uh, Pulaski, Tennessee. Whoa, I've never been to Pulaski. Is it Pulaski or is it? I don't know how else I would say it. Pool. A ski. I don't know. How are you all doing? You're welcome to ask whatever spiritual questions that you may have, and I will do my best to answer them. I really wanted to get on my yeah, okay. Yay! I said it correct. Gold star. High five. 40. I really wanted to get on live, one, because Spirit was like, hey, there's people who need to talk to you. And I was like, okay, you were looking for me. Well, you manifested me. Here I am. You must have been one of those people. But also, we're heading into a glorious full moon, and there is a lot of energy out and about right now. And so I wanted to talk about that a little bit more, and also just check in with all of you. I know I've kind of mentioned so far that June is a very interesting month. It's a very fast manifestation month. So whether it's like high frequency energy, hi Zawadi, whether it's high frequency energy or energy that you're trying to cut away, it's going to feel stronger than usual. And so I am here to support you all and TikTok because I'm streaming on multiple platforms. If you have any spiritual questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Hi, hello, it's great to see you all. Well, great to see your bubbles. Great to see your bubbles. I hope that y'all are coming on. Does anybody know what day? Oh, it's Tuesday. I hope you're coming on Thursday to Z School for the Gifted. I've been loving seeing you all come, and it's so fun. Um, but tell me, how are you doing this June? What is your vibe like? I feel like it's been a mix. I've been meeting with some folks and they've been saying like one day it's easy for them, another day it's difficult, another day they're on a date, another day they're trying to figure out their life purpose. There hasn't really been that many days in June, so I know the energy has been quite wild. Hello, TikTok. Thanks for the likes, everyone. Thanks for the likes. Feel free to let me know where you're tuning in from. You were sick last week. Oh no, ascension sick or like sick sick? What kind of sick were you? Are you feeling better? If you're not, let me know. This is an herbalist. I can help you with that. So you're welcome to ask your questions. And and I have a lovely announcement because I know a lot of people have been asking about it. I am going to be offering, starting tomorrow, holistic health sessions, 45-minute sessions. So you can fill out the form, book your time, pay the fee, and I will assist you with your herbal health and talk to you about Ayurveda and things like that to make sure that you are getting seen in a very amazing way to support you on your journey. You're calling in from Florida, but I live in Mexico. Fun. Florida, but I live in Mexico. Where in Florida? I used to go to Miami a lot. Not like used to. I was there not too long ago. Where in Florida? Um, you have a really cool name. Uh, Ifaroju? Is that how you say it? Um, it's 11:43 p.m. in Tennessee, Pulaski, Tennessee. I'd like bronchitis, coughing, and dead tired 2 days. Um, so bronchitis is wild. Two things I would highly recommend adding to your diet if you have not already is fresh pineapple juice and fresh carrot juice. Pineapple juice has a bunch of prostaglandins that help with inflammation, and it will help soothe everything, but also get your inflammation down. Since you have bronchitis, and carrot juice will also help with that and also helps with phlegm. I used to get bronchitis and pneumonia, and chest things a lot. And also spiritually right now, if folks are getting sick and they don't usually get sick, it's usually because they have stuck energy there. Um, so any sort of like heart opening that you might be doing or wanting to speak your truth, um, I would definitely do that to help with your bronchitis. And drink warm water all day long. Um, if someone put a spell or bad luck, what is the easiest way to remove it? Money is all around me, but I get so close and something happened, then I have to wait. Yeah, okay, that's a great question. So most of the time, some folks, hold on. Why is it telling me to do this? Oh, so that I can actually read things. Nailed it. Um, so most of the time when it comes to finances, the things that people can put towards you is like even if someone were to send you like evil eye and things like that, it may not necessarily like mess up your finances, but if they have kind of like a succubus energy or a destiny swapping energy, which is what I've encountered before and I've seen it happen to people as well. Um And depending on the severity is going to decide what you're going to need to do. So core there's many things, but I always kind of tell people like when you're removing stuff from your life, it's always going to start with you because, like it or not, they are attached to your energy. So, any mindset work, healing work, financial work that you do, root chakra clearing, all of that work is going to help remove that negative energy because the higher your frequency is, the harder it is for them to attach to you. And then, making sure you're doing your cord cutting, cleansing your space. If you don't have a good relationship with money and money seems to be slipping away from you, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's somebody else. It means it's you because money is an energy. So, like energy always finds like energy. So, if you hold a good frequency of money, money flows to you. If you are fearful of money, then money goes away, right? You're always chasing money. So there's a couple things that you can do. Maybe sit with yourself and see what your relationship is. Can you reject your purpose or twin flame? Like, what are the limits of free will? There are no limits of free will, which is kind of why it's called free will. People can do whatever they want, and that's basically how you gain karma or lose karma, right? Because free will comes into play. Um, you can choose to reject your twin flame this lifetime. Um, it doesn't mean that you'll never meet, right? Because you are two parts to a whole. So their energy could be around still in your life, and it can feel quite intense. And honestly, you can have more than one destiny, to be honest, because like one linear path doesn't quite exist. So you can have multiple realities of of different destinies and purposes that you can fulfill. What you choose is up to you. That's why you kind of see in tarot the cups all around, right? Where there's all those options usually right before you are stepping onto your path. It's because you get to choose. Your life is a co-creation with the universe, with spirit, with God, whatever you believe in. And so when you align with whatever purpose you want, spirit will help echo that back to you, especially if you are in alignment with your soul. Um, so And with like twin flame journey, if you're not ascending together, then and like one twin decides to stay low frequency, like if they don't get over their ego, if they don't start moving on their destiny, if they don't start making better choices, if they don't, like if it's a twin that's supposed to be in the spotlight, like if they're not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing and taking action, and like if they don't stop dragging their feet, the other twin will keep ascending, and spirit is going to eventually like send in soulmates to still be with you because you are still on your path to fulfill your destiny, like you're that destiny that you have chosen. But you can meet that twin again in another lifetime, so it just depends. Does that answer your question? I like your name, New. New as in French, as in us, or new as in a different language? I just got pineapple juice today just for that reason. Yeah, drink that pineapple juice and carrot juice. Hello, hello, hello. Um, I need to block someone on TikTok. I'm over these little spammy accounts. Um, Hi, friend. Hi, it's great to see you. Is it Sakmatal? Is that how you say? Thank you. I also lost a friend, who ended up being a narcissist right before I got sick. Was wondering if, see, yeah, it's grief. It's grief and healing. It's stuck energy that's coming out. There's a lot of people right now. If you are feeling like sick in any way, or have any sort of body ailments, it's because your body is purging. Your body is literally purging. So if you're getting like acne, if you're getting colds, if someone I just talked to was getting like fibroids because they're also healing their womb space, like there's all these things that can happen, right? And that'll physically show up in your body because it needs to come out. Um, I hope you're doing okay because not probably relatable. B2W. No, I know my ex to be deal with stuff like that. Just said it in somewhat to me. Ah, okay. So you choose your destiny, and that's different than fate, where the universe decides. No, fate is fate. What's meant to happen will always happen, no matter what timeline you are on. So it just depends on which energy you choose, because there's multiple realities. So whatever is meant to happen in that reality will happen. Because if like, is that making sense? I'm like, I can go down a whole spiral, but let me know if I just like, mm, yeah, so how your life is meant to happen will happen, but you also have you also have free will. But in one timeline, you could be destined to be a dancer. In another timeline, you can be destined to be a dancer and a chef. In another timeline, you could be destined to be a frog, right? So whatever timeline you choose, you might end up Princess and the Frog. That was not a great answer, but you know what I mean. It's late. I'm surprised my internet's working at hospital. I guess I meant to hear this. Yes, hi. I'm so glad it's working. Yes, everything's always meant to be. New as in French, new is short for an Anuka. Oh, cool. Yes, as in French. Silver blade. Thumbs up. This is a serious purge. Sheesh. Yeah. I've had serious purges too, where I've actually ended up in the hospital. Um, it's kind of like how some folks, go through a near-death experience and then all of a sudden they make it out the other end and they're like awakened. Like it's like that. Which will happen to some folks. Yes, I think my body's healing, although it seems like the opposite. I'm at the hospital right now. Yeah, it's like it's in the energy. And so as the earth is ascending, if there's things in your life that you have not, so full accountability right now, everybody listening, if there are things in your life that you have not cleared out or taken responsibility for, or didn't quite see coming, and, and now you're making shifts, June is going to rattle it out of you because it's fast manifestation energy. And so the universe and your ancestors are forcing it out of you at this point, right? So know that everything happens for a reason. Also, for some folks, depending on where you are, like if you've been like working yourself to death, like into the ground, they might smack you on your butt to actually put you into a like energetic tank of protection and healing, right? Because they need you in almost like a lucid, yeah, kind of state for them to get through to you. That's why people are like, "Oh my gosh, I was sick for like blah blah blah, and I had so many visions." um, Hi, Leanna. Yep, I feel like I had more than one near-death experience. Yeah, same. You're telling me. You're telling me on more than one occasion. I definitely died once in a hospital when I was younger. It was something from my chest, and then again from my chest as an adult twice. Yeah, so I feel you. Because now your whole nervous system is probably shot, totally exhausted, and lots of sickness. Yeah, yeah, just take care of yourself and do your journaling. Oh yeah, the purging can really be something. I speak from experience. Hi, William Scott. What I am asking is it something I can do for us taking a shower after doing um cord cutting? Yeah, I mean it's always good to bathe yourself after cord cutting. I always recommend spiritual baths or um, jumping into rivers and oceans and things like that, assuming you can swim. Um, and if you need help, let me know. Uh, there's still cord cutting openings and things like that. So if anybody wants me to do candle work for them, it also comes with a tarot reading and advice from the other side, and it's curated to you. So I can do your candle working and watch it for 5 days and call in the deities and ancestors for you. I finally caught you. What's up? I take responsibility for whatever I need to. I love that harmony. You are so smart. Oh, thanks. You know, for the longest time, which I feel like this happens with femmes, I hid how smart I was. Now I just don't. I just took that mask right off because it would really intimidate people and it would intimidate men all the time too. And it still does from time to time. Like if I start talking and then they're like, oh, you're like so smart and emotionally intelligent. And I'm like, this is weird. I'm gonna go. Of course, happy to share. Giggled about the princess and the frog. We were watching it just yesterday. See, so synchronistic. I love Princess Diana. I tell myself that I am a real life Princess Diana. Basically, it's basically my story. I love journaling daily. Yeah, it's so important. Definitely be doing it right now. And if any of you haven't done any scripting, like you need to be scripting like all the time. Like my friend has been obsessed with scripting her love life, and it's the best thing. Hi TikTok. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh my gosh, me too. I have all air placements in my big saying so very smart and chatty. Yeah. So you know how it is. Like when you're super intelligent, people just act really weird. And like I also feel like with people who are super smart, like I don't feel like we feel the need to be constantly communicating because like we also receive information. That's why we are so smart, right? So like I find that sometimes when I'm with people and I'm like listening to them, they get really weirded out by that. Or like I will sit in silence until I feel like I have something to say to you. And my friends and I are the same way. And it's like when it's important, it'll come out. Joyce, okay, two hearts, love it. I've been doing heart focus and nervous system meditations. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's my feet started aching yesterday, so sore ball of right foot under, big toe hard to walk without bad pain. Yesterday was worse. Oh no, keep stretching. That's also uh an important pressure point, but I can't look it up right now. You might want to look that up. Eastern medicine. Does it also mean removing people from your life because you are supposed to be focused on something else? Um, you mean with cord cutting, Zawadi? I mean, right now, yeah, you should be removing people who are distracting you. if that's what I'm understanding. They hate my Gemini moon. You're just too cool for school. They just can't handle it. They're just not for you. You're welcome in this space. I like you already. I also feel people try to intentionally misunderstand me to humble me. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely folks out there who will humble you. My family does it all the time. They try to. It's like a if I say something knowledgeable, then they're like, "Oh, well, there's this." And I'm like, okay, that's nice. Nothing to do with what we were talking about. I'm gonna go. Still smart. um, Kismet. Oh, I need to be doing this so I can actually see it. Sounds good. You'll get there. Sending, may it heal on your time. The removal of people will just happen on its own. It's just one of those things that happens. Silver blade, yeah, I mean, in an occasion, yes, but not always, no. Especially depending on your energy, especially right now. Like like there are lessons to also be had when you do the removal yourself. Especially if you do a lot of work with your ancestors, they will continue to come back until you liberate yourself and do the removal yourself. Because there's a sense of like complacency and ego driven type of behavior that comes from not actually doing the work to set the boundaries for yourself, which means you're also not telling or teaching people how to treat you, which is then very like like a spiritual bypassing kind of energy. The people will sometimes fall off, but it's like I would kind of pay close attention to how you're actually communicating with people, meaning the universe and ancestors. Yeah, I mean, they will point out who probably needs to get removed, or they will like if it's someone you don't have a strong connection with, they might just disappear. Maybe that's what Silver Blade is talking about. But if it's like other people who you've had in your life for a while, um, and you kind of remove them or do cord cuttings, they may come back, and that's when you need to like fully remove them. Um, I'm going to have to see your prices. It may be on your page. Wonder how long before you can see the candle take before I see a difference. It depends on the person. If you're open for it and you're ready, you'll see it immediately. If you do none of the work that I tell you to do, you won't see it. So it's kind of a collaboration. Like I have clients who I do protection work for, and they'll usually see it starting the next day. But that's also because they know how to respond and they know how to sit within their healing work. Um, and so they just jump in and keep going and and trust the process and things like that. So it really just depends. Base of neck, I believe, base of big toe. Um, Talking about me not wanting to be in the spotlight, boom, on the screen. Silly universe, that's what you get. I put you back on the screen again. Yeah, if you're meant to be in the spotlight, be in the spotlight. They also speak to you in your dreams. My dad always comes to me in my dreams. Yeah, they come in many, many different ways for sure. Think it's a narrative I'm working to shift though. I love that you're working on that. I'm reading this backwards. I'm reading your messages backwards. Um, I'm glad you're working to shift that for sure. Yeah. Manifest a good outcome for you. Um, Alan Marcus, I have not. Um, yeah, I've noticed when you start pulling back your energy, people do not like it. Well, yeah. Especially right now, if you pull back your energy, I've been doing that a lot lately, and it's been like message Instagram, message this, message my phone, message. And I'm just like, nope, 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 nope. People don't like it, and they get really cold, but that's just proof to you that they should not be in your life. Right? Like when people don't like it, that's when you go, "Oh, I'm done. Oh, I'm totally done," right? Like there's no point in like continuing to engage with people who are not at the same or like interested in learning about emotional intelligence and healthy boundaries and communication and having crucial conversations. Like if they don't understand that on a basic level and they're just going to be petty, you know what I mean? Like that's when you're like, "Nah, like this is done." Right? Like let just be like ancestors, just gonna write this down. Um, oh yeah, LOL. Today's anniversary of losing my son. Didn't want to be in the hospital today. I will look up the foot issue in Eastern medicine. I was enjoying the song I wrote uh as about my son. Oh, I love that. I love that you're enjoying that. Cutting cords. What are ways to cut cords? There's many different ways to cut cords. You can cut cords with Reiki, you can cut like cords with physical rope, you can cut cords with candle workings. I do candle workings and I call in people from the other spiritual side, but I also do physical bindings and things like that. The thing is, like, people, like, everybody has to understand that when I say, or when spiritual teachers most of the time say, like, cord like, do your cord cutting, it means in in all aspects, right? So it's like, so this is a great question, right? So you're doing your candle working, right? You're calling in the elements, you are speaking with your ancestors. You need to do your healing work in order to do cord cutting, because what the heck is the point of doing a cord cutting if you are emotionally still attached, because that's the strongest attachment, right? Like, I can't assist you and bring in the assistance that you need if that person comes back into your life and you're like, hey, welcome back, right? Like, that doesn't help. Right? So it's like you also need to do that. If you have things in your space that connect you to these people or these situations, you need to get rid of them. If you have mindsets, you need to get rid of that, right? Like, it's like if you are codependent, if you feel like you're overly emotionally attached and like all these things. So there's many, many, many ways that you can cord cut. I feel like cord cutting is like a lifestyle. It's like a lifestyle. You start to get really good at it. And then when you align it with astrology to help you cord cut and the moon cycle, your cord cutting has become very powerful. That's why I was telling people, like, make sure you like, if you want a cord cutting done, now's the perfect time to have it before this full moon, because you can cut all the old energy, manifest on the full moon. And then if you need to do extra cord cutting, you can do it like a few days after the full moon, as the sun begins to the moon begins to wane again. But ideally, it's you want to cord cut as much as you can before everything gets fully illuminated, right? Um, okay. Thanks for explaining that. Yeah, I was speaking on a separate show. I must have misunderstood what they asked. I forgot who. Thanks, Silverblade, for clarifying. Um, 100%, they started getting weird. And when I got out of my 2 days of bed sick days, they had blocked me and gone on a rant on their social media. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right? We just go, okay, cool. So that life I don't want, right? And then we remove them, we do our healing, we call in a different soul tribe, right? Like, we express gratitude for seeing the truth of their actions. We express gratitude for no longer having them in our lives, right? Like, and we also say thank you for all of the lessons that they have taught us, and may continue to teach us, for the healing that they just sparked for you, right? So then you're not sinking into those other emotions. You just say thank you, and it's like, because the more you engage with it, the more like, sit within it. Like, obviously sometimes there's uh space for, like, getting upset, right? Go be upset so you can alchemize that energy and then get to the rest of your emotions so you can begin your healing journey. um, so there's just a lot of petty energy coming out of people right now, but that usually happens during this time, and June is fast. And the ancestors right now are like, I need you to get it together in terms of discernment. Like, that's everybody's ancestors right now. So they're like, okay, if you don't get it, I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to show it to you again. I'm going to show it to you even louder. I'm going to keep forcing it until you fully understand. Because blessings are coming in for a lot of people. And so if you have folks like that in your life, like, like they want the best for you and that's not the best for you. So they're just going to reveal it in a very jarring way, I would say lately. Let's see what this says. Lately, I think my presence or something per se has been freaking people out or something. I was on TikTok and they threw me out for words I never said at all. It was so weird and random. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Right now, it's really like it's kind of like a teeter-totter right now for energy. And so as it gets closer to the full moon, like you have to make sure that you are only like around people you align with and that you have the spiritual protection to also be visible, right? Like and know when to go on social media, when not to go on social media. And also sometimes your guides will like kick you out of things to protect you, like full ass protect you. They'll just be like, zap. Like, we're just gonna make this really uncomfortable for you. Right? Can't keep helping them get these toxic people out of their lives for them to keep letting them back in. Exactly. Yeah. So like when you begin your cord cutting, it's like cord cuttings are intense and they're meant to be intense. Like people sometimes think like, "Oh, I'm just going to light my candles and then there goes my cord cutting." It's like, "No. No. In hoodoo? No, no, no." Right? Like there is a full regimen of like healing, cleansing, clearing, and there's the understanding that it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. It's going to be hard. It's going to be you facing your fears. It's going to be you getting upset. It's going to be you crying and rewriting your generational cycle. Like that is what cord cutting is. It's like an act of self-care and self-love because when you cord cut, you cut for you and you cut for your ancestors. That's why it's so important to also like if you need help, reach out to someone like me who can call in your ancestors and your deities and your guides to help you and put a container around you. But then it's up to you to be able to navigate and make the best decisions within that space. And also, after cord cutting, energies will come towards you again because you severed the energy from them. So then it's up to you to cut them away in your physical space, right? Um, can't you cleanse the energy from the object and reclaim, neutralize those things instead of getting rid of them? For what? Otherwise, nothing is left. And also, I have some things and I don't link them to them. Um, yeah, you can yeah, you can cleanse things. I feel like this is getting a little tangenty, but like, yeah, you can cleanse energies from stuff, but it depends on your practice. Like, that's a generalized statement. So, like, for instance, if you used to live with someone, like if you used to live with someone, like I used to be married and then I got divorced and I have clients who have like certain ones have similar situations. If you have items and you have a spiritual connection to that person, if you have items from that marriage, you should get rid of those items if you're trying to move on because like whether you understand or not, you will subconsciously look at that item and pull back energy from your past. That's why in like Buddhism and things like that, like you don't become attached to your physical things. Like your people's need to want to hold on to things and continue to cleanse them. Like if you live a very simple life and you don't have a lot, yeah, like totally take that approach. But even then, in other spiritual cultures, right? Like you're not meant to hoard stuff. That's not natural for humans to do. That's why we were also nomads before. Like we're supposed to be in motion like energy. So you can keep things and you can clear them, but also pay it forward, right? Like so get rid of the things that are from your past and also send it with love and compassion so the next people can enjoy it. It's like it's all an energy exchange, right? Like you can keep the things, but why would you want to keep the things? Like unless you like really, really need them. If even if you replace, even if you got rid of the thing, likely it's going to be replaced. Like if there's an energetic attachment, because it's also it's again, it's like it's subconscious. It's subconscious to you. And when you start to work with your ancestors in a very detailed way and your spiritual guides, they will literally point out to you the one document that needs to go. Like if you have a spiritual attachment to someone, it gets that detailed the further on along in your spiritual journey because they need that attachment tied because it's all energy. It's all energy. And if that person is saying something about you unknowingly to you, that one access point is that stupid paper, right? Like that's how detailed it can get sometimes. And so, yes, you can clear it if you want to. It's up to you, but take it from a very holistic stance and understand that it's much bigger than just one object I have from the past. Like dig into your spirituality and like really reveal this story. Um I'm going to look at Reiki cord cutting, not sure. Learn that in my classes. You use your Reiki to do your cord cutting, to clarify. Um, because Reiki, you remove low energies anyways. And so energetic ties are the same. How do you alchemize it? I supposedly do that, but I have no conscious awareness of how to do it. Um, yeah, I feel like that's you're asking some very detailed questions. Um, Alchemizing is through many, many ways of life. It's how you eat, it's how you drink things, it's how you dress, it's how you speak, it's how you carry yourself, it's how you set boundaries with people, it's how you move your body, it's how you don't move your body, it's how you like get into the water, right? You can alchemize energy that way. You can do it through your actual channeling, you can do it through your own energy clearing, you can do it with crystals, you can do it with writing. It's alchemizing is just processing. That's just what that means. Alchemizing and processing are the same thing. Um, but it's taking one thing and turning it into something else. So if you were having low frequency thoughts for some reason, like you're really fearful, alchemizing it could come in many ways, right? Like doing your breath work, doing your meditations, journaling about it, asking your inner child, going to exercise so the physical energy can get out of your body, washing your body to remove any energy, doing hair cleanses, like all sorts of stuff can help alchemize it. People are constantly alchemizing, but when you're intentional about alchemizing, that's where the power comes from. That's when your gifts really start to develop because you're intentional and you can get deep into it at a very like minute level. You betcha. Hi, it's so great to see you. It's been a crazy epic evening. I hope you're okay. Okay, so that explains the disappearances of certain things in my life because I failed to adhere to red flags. Got it. Yeah. You're also a seer, and I know we've talked about that before. Seers have very different lives than people who are not seers. And you have ancestors who are very powerful, who don't mess around with you. So that is also something. Yeah, Silverblade said, "Tell me about it." It has been a wild day. Um, you're typing so fast. I need to read faster. Okay, yeah, there's so many manufactured chaos, but it has been backfiring on those who are trying. Yeah, exactly. Just let it backfire. Just don't even just turn around, walk away. Just let it happen. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Shawnee. Good evening. Happy full moon eve. Yes, it's a beautiful time. Yeah, I try to avoid ignoring it as much as I can. Good. I get rid of items too. I do have one keyboard my ex-husband gave me. I gave to my son who passed, and it kept it to learn music. I may clear it, almost give it away so many times I can sell it too. It's nice. Yeah, do everyone, I always recommend do what's best for you. Myself and my own practices and my own beliefs and my own spiritual teachers, like we always like get rid of our past and my guides always have me do the same. It's like clockwork. Like it's like, like I'm changing, my life is changing. I'm not this old person. Like you'll start to eventually feel it. Like you'll wake up one day and you'll just look at all your stuff and be like, it has to go, right? Because they're trying to communicate with you. The things you get rid of will be replaced. Yeah, completely. And the only way you're gonna be able to make room for newness is if you get rid of the past. Um, like, I have nothing from my past, and I will ask my ancestors to reveal it if I do. And like, they'll literally, because if anybody was on the like love relationship live, she saw them, because they do this to me all the time. They will swipe things and highlight things and like do all this stuff on my phone. And she saw it happen. And that's how they'll assist me. Like, I'll be like, what is this? Who is this? Where is it? And it'll, like, the last one was like on Facebook. It was a tagged photo and you can't quite see it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna delete my whole Facebook. So it's gone for now. Bye. Um, can do you want me to watch it, Alan? I'll watch it and then do a ZTV about it. Let me write it down. Let me write it down, Alan. I'm gonna write down your name too, so I remember. Alan Marcus. React. Should I watch it live? Should we all watch it live? Battle for Dream Island. So exciting. Well, he was a thrifter, so nearly everything in my house is thrifted by him. Yeah, I've been there. Takes time to cleanse it, but eventually. And I love thrifting. It's so much fun. Oh, you alchemized by getting into the water. No wonder I was determined to get into that river water yesterday. Put them fears aside and go into the water. Yeah. Ask Oshun to come visit you, Shawnee. You have that energy around you. You can ask for their help. And you'll be in class on Thursday. So just remind me. If you make a note right now, just remind me, and I will tell you when you go to the river how to make an offering for Oshun to come help you, to come bless you, since it is a river and not the ocean. Uh, you behind? Oh, I'm totally behind. Y'all, I'm trying to read so many chats right now. Can you tell me more about um yeah, Sears? Um, I feel like I've talked to this on a couple lives, so I'll like keep it short. So like Sears, the way we get information is very intense, like very, very intense. Like um, we receive information through all of our senses, and we also take on the characteristics of the energies that come towards us, or energies in the spiritual realm all at one time. So, like, some folks are, mediums, right? And that is their path. Like, they're only a medium. And so they might be able to get their clairs moving, right? Moving and grooving, or they might be able to see something, or like draw to channel an ancestor's seers. We will become the energy of what we are trying to share. Like, because we're so like in both realms at the same time, you like 24/7, that everything we do, we speak, we experience is neither here nor there. If that makes sense. So like like a lot of stuff that tends to happen to seers in the beginning of their journey, when they are opening their gifts, because seers, like, we experience everything at one time. um it's like you might start to meet like you might start to dress like people you are meeting and take on their characteristics before you meet them. You will also be able to tap into energies from the other realm and become them as well. Like, it's almost like I don't know how to explain it. I think I'm gonna break this down into a document. Um, and then there's like psychics, right? Like, some psychics can see certain timelines and let you know outcomes, right? Like, you have a favorable outcome for this. Seers will see all of it. Like, we will be able to see all of it, and the universe gives us information about everything everywhere. So it's not just like I'm trying to explain this in a digestible way. Um, it's not just like, oh, I saw 444 today and it means this. It's like, no, seers get information like this. This is my life all day long. I'm like, "Oh, my client's doing this, like, I'm doing this, this is happening overseas, like, blah, 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 blah. I can hear my mom cooking this. Oh, she's thinking this, like, blah, 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 blah. Grandma Boomie's trying to get in," or like, you know, all these things like, oh, like, and then you can talk to icons on like the other side, right? It's all energies, and you're like, okay, well, this energy is this gonna happen? Like, oh, this is gonna pop into the news, like, oh, like, this is gonna go bankrupt, like, oh, this company is about to shut. Like, it's like a being a seer is like being a massive engine, like, but it's not even like you're not searching for it, it's just how you receive information. Like, you're like a psychic on drugs. Literally. And not only that, seers can also work very well with the elements, because elements are all energy. And so we have a way of speaking also with animals and reading nature because that is also energy. So it's kind of like everything becomes information. Like you stop seeing the world as like, oh, this person. It's like, no, that's an energy, and this is an energy, and this is how this works. And then spirit speaks to you. This is a deity. This is a guide. This is such and such. This is someone who has like a Leviathan energy. Like this is, and it's just all flowing at one time. Or I always give the example of like, I always know like when certain energies of my friends come because they start to swirl around me. Like one of my friends is from Ukraine, and so I'll meet a ton of Ukrainian people like instantly, like, and it gets louder and louder and louder, and then they'll kind of disappear, and then all of a sudden, I'll bing my phone, right? Or, um, yeah. Or like I'll wake up like when things started getting really bad overseas, like I woke up in the middle of war, like as if I was there, right? And it had was breaking out at the exact same time. So like we get information all at the same time. And it doesn't really matter where it comes from. It just like depends on how strong it is. Um, now I'm really behind, but yeah. I get rid of past things normally and tell others to also the only thing. Oh, what did you about your old Facebook? I got rid of uh one. I'm actually hoping that it clears everything out. And then I have my business Facebook, but I just deleted all of it because I started to get a lot of people from the past on there as I was doing cord cuttings, and I was like, oh, I see where you are. I see where you are. I was like, leeches. And then life got so much better after that. Um, no, Alan, I was just asking you how you wanted me to react to if you just wanted a video. Um, Shawnee, okay, I will ask Oshun to come bless me. I actually brought yellow daisies for her and set them by the river intuitively. Put your daisies into the water. I didn't put them in the water. Put them into the water. And then in class, I will tell you exactly what to say when you get into the water. I actually recorded a video of me doing an offering today uh, to Ocean for a few months from now. Yeah, honey is great. Like putting on someone else's meat suit. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. Like I had this really weird energy the other day. Dressed like different, like it was like boom, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I went to my like spin class, and I was identical down to my hair, the teacher, and I was like, "Oh man." So it just kind of happens, or I like in the beginning of my journey, like I yeah, it always like you just embody that energy, and it's also a way for your ancestors to help guide you on your path. So it's like I knew I was supposed to be there, and that's also confirmation. There were other times I had dressed differently, and this person ended up thinking that I was their ex-wife. but I wasn't, but they came to talk to me and they were a really famous music producer. And so I was like, "Oh," and then we had this whole conversation. So it kind of like works in really weird ways. But yes, kind of like putting on someone else's meat suit, except it's energy. It's energy. I always know when there's ancestors around because I start singing different songs. I become a different person. My hair gets different. I like talk differently. I move differently. Um, yeah, it's just wild. It's fun. That sounds exhausting. No, it's not exhausting. It's only exhausting if you don't have the spiritual capacity to handle it. It's a gift. If you see it that way, that's how you will treat it. But it takes time. I've seen people misuse it and they get exhausted. I use it to help people. Like that's why I'm here teaching all of you so you can all recognize it. People are easily exhausted because they don't have boundaries with themselves, period. I've got great boundaries. I don't get that exhausted. I thought about letting go of Facebook page. I've started new ones, then forgot log Harmony. You got it. Oh, okay. Plus, it's your choice. You can do it after you are done answering questions. Yeah, I have some time tomorrow. I actually have a desk full of candles that I need to catch up on for candle working. So if y'all do your candle workings, if you order candle working, and so a candle working, so I know someone was asking for pricing, it's 144. And I will watch over, I will do the blessings, I will do all the cord cuttings. I give you a video of me prepping the candle. I don't show you me putting on the altar. I never show my altars. And then you also get a mini tarot reading to go along with it and a video, and you can keep it and you can listen to it. And I will also give you advice and things to do at home to go along with your candle working. Right now I've got like court case, success candles, ancestor ones. I've got a protection one. I've got lots of things in there. I just added a new one, which is called like keep quiet or like shut up candle for folks who are gossiping around you. It's to like quiet their energy and kind of like send uh like return their negativity. Um I know it's just be late, but it's impossible to be multi-doing. Like being on multiple times is tough, then merging them over time. Yeah, I know that probably sounds crazy. Actually, it doesn't sound that crazy. Um, so technically, so if you think about how time works and energy works, um, even if you merge something, like when you try to merge like two elements together, they become a new thing, right? So but then the 2 timelines per se or elements still exist in a sense, so if that makes sense. Um, so you could technically be on multiple timelines because they all happen at the same time, so you exist already in multiple timelines. Like, there's a version of me that's wearing a pink bathing suit because I also just saw it, right? And if I wanted to try and merge them, I could think about how I wanted to merge them, but then it would just create a new timeline. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't sound crazy whatsoever. Whatsoever. Because technically everything happens at once. So what would you really be merging in a sense? You know what I mean? Um, I will write it down now so I can remind you in class. Yay! Yes. Who's coming to class on Thursday? I'm going to be going over becoming the muse. It's basically being the curator of your life and a master manifester. We've been journeying. We just cleared out all the chakras, and now that they've done all of their healing and their clearing, we are now focusing on 3 areas of your life to set your intentions for your manifestations. So we can hit this fast manifestation portal and it's going to prep everybody for the following workshop the following Thursday, which is going to be Unstoppable Wealth Creators, which I decided to just teach inside Z School for the Gifted. So I highly recommend that if you're going to come to Z School for the Gifted, you come to these two. If you missed all the chocolate clearing, the link is going to be in the description. It's only $22 and it's an amazing experience. I guide you through meditation, somatic work. It's been so much fun. We sang happy birthday not that long ago to Shawnee. Hi, Gio. How's it going? I have a lot of spiritual gifts. They actually really scared me. Oh no. What are your spiritual gifts? I met someone today, um, who has a lot of spiritual gifts. They were scared too for a little bit, but mostly because their family was scared. Twinning with clothes is relatable. I suddenly sing songs, pick up emotions, and use words that have meaning to other people. I see symbols and everything, and that's just being an empath, I suppose. Yeah, it's a mix. It can be a mix. Um, it's a mix, really. Um, yeah, good put. And thanks for teaching, explaining. Yeah, happy to share. I'm going to be coming to class on Thursday. Yeah, I'm so excited. Spirit has been highlighting a lot of your comments on YouTube, so I feel like there's something important for you. Misread. Normally, when Spirit highlights people's comments, like I won't always see everything, but Spirit will consistently highlight certain comments, and yours have been showing up. So you must have important messages coming through. It'll be my first class. Yay! I'm so excited for you to meet everybody. They're so loving. Thanks for sharing. Not provoking. Cool. I don't know what gifts I have. I just that they vary and are very intense most of the time. What feels intense? Can you explain the intensity? Like, do you feel it in your body? Um, what makes you nervous? Thank you for the live. See you Thursday. Yay! Yes, I will see you on Thursday. This says, yeah, actually, no, all seriousness though, that does make sense because apparently I ran hurdles and never did like there's a time me and everything and it's not a typo and I'm like, what the yeah, weird stuff starts to happen. That's why I say like when you start manifesting things and you like really break out of what you think you can do with your energy, you start to meet different versions of yourself. And it's the most fun I've ever had because I'm like, wow. Because there was a point I was like, I'm just gonna see what other Z's are out there. And I just meet other people and they're also named Z and they are like in these different phases as I was like figuring out what I wanted, like what path I wanted to take. And even as a seer, right? Like seers will manifest situations into their own life so that they can also predict the future. Like a lot of seers, their real life becomes the prediction, is how I guess you can also kind of say it. And so, like, I feel like um, this happens sometimes with my love life before I will meet people, and it'll be like a couple years in advance, and it's like you're just meeting different versions of them and yourself so that you can decide what you want to do. It's the future comes to you because everything happens at once. And so you have the opportunity, you don't tell them, right? But you have the opportunity to be able to ask questions and get to know them or observe. Like I think I had told the story before of like being in the airport and um people's energy just always show up and I that's how I know also sometimes what people are up to aside from having the remote viewing and I can just peek, right? But um it'll be their life in my life and then it'll switch and it'll be someone else's life in my life and then multiple lives in my life and so I will just sit there observing the different situations because it'll literally be them and their names. So when people are like, "Well, how do you know if," I'm like, "No, bruh, it's clear." It's not like, "Oh, this person," it'll literally look like them, sound like them, have the exact same name. They'll like talk like them, and you can read the situation, and then you'll also get confirmation from them physically because spirit will give it to you. So you start interacting where your 3D becomes predictions. It's quite fun, to be honest. um I think I have altered reality with my mind in real time several times. I love that. That's awesome. It's so fun. Keep doing it. Spirit would show me things and I'd alter it usually with prayer. It's hard to explain. No, you're explaining it perfectly. That's amazing. There's a lot of gifted people in the world, and this is probably the first time that we're actually seeing more people, which is why I love having this channel and I share my story because I want to normalize it that you can shift your reality, and I do it all the time, just like you. We are soul tribe. Keep going. And you're probably a prayer warrior, which I love. I see 144. Yeah, 144. Oh, you all hit it. 144, all the hearts. Vivid, I don't know who you are, but you know, I'm just gonna have to ban you because it's just that season of the energy. Um, you can talk to God about it or whatever. My father has seen Jesus in a vision, and someone claiming to be the devil showed up at his job at night and disappeared when he walked out. Yeah, I mean, weird stuff. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I was trying to tell someone the other day, I was like, what you see in movies, and I'm like, you don't even know the half of it. I'm like, actually be within your, I'm like, most of the people who are tapped in just like you, I'm like, they don't come towards the surface because people are going to start calling them crazy. So that's why I'll come to the surface and be like, I'm not crazy, here's the proof. So then more people can come to the surface and start talking about it because it's important. No, I mean, archangels, like all of it. It's real. It's it's it's, it's totally real. My, like, first creepy encounter, um, it was very godly, and it was really cool, and I was traveling, well, aside from the whole prophet thing, which I've shared before, but I was traveling, and I just was, like, really tapped in with spirit that day, um, and, thanks for saying that, Silver Blade. It's okay. I deleted them. I banned them. I just don't have internet. Like, no. Um, we just don't engage with it. Uh, but I was like in a train station and I was walking and I just had this feeling I needed to sit diagonal, like from this person. So I sat diagonal from them. And then they started like talking, right? Like almost like they were schizophrenic. And like, I mean, that stuff has never scared me in mental health, right? Like it is what it is. Slash spirituality meets mental health all the time. And everybody started to get really weird and like walk away because they're like, oh, this person's crazy, like all this stuff. And I was like, I don't think like I'm like their energy does not feel crazy to me whatsoever. It feels very divine. And so I like went back to reading my book and was like, lolly, lolly, lolly. Um, and it was just the most divine message ever. They didn't look at me at first, but they said things in threes. And the first thing they said was like, well, they would say like boots, 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 boots. And I was like, I said to myself, like, being me, I was like, oh, boots with the fur, being stupid, right? It was like boots, boots, boots. And then they're like, white boots, white boots, white boots. Like, look down, I was like, oh, I'm wearing white boots. And then, but they still weren't looking at me, like, they weren't facing me whatsoever. And I was like, this is interesting. This is probably about to get really weird. And it went on for like a full ass 45 minutes. And they were saying stuff that, like, Nobody on the face of this earth knows. Like, I've never told anybody. Very divine messages, very, like, ascended master type of messages. Like, I love that you're bringing up Jesus and all that's, like, exactly how it felt. Like, it was, like, so like, they were preparing me and also sharing messages, and so I, like, couldn't write fast enough, but I was listening to everything that they were saying, and it was, like, multiple, ancestors, deities, masters that they were, like, sharing messages for, and then it started to sound really angelic, and then, like, I just, like, was having all these chills, and the people had kinda, like, moved to the side of the train station, and then all of a sudden, they just said, like, "Justice, justice, justice," like, and I was like, "This is getting trippy, man." I was like, "This is getting trippy," but, like, no one was paying attention, and so I was like, "I'm just gonna trip out." This is why I don't do drugs, 'cause I'm like, my life is already trippy enough, and, um, and so then, all of a sudden, they, like, snap, and they look me dead in the eye, and they say, like, "Justice, justice, justice," and then they hunch over, and then they, like, sit back up, and then they kinda shake their head, and then they, like, get their cart, and they, like, go out of the train station, and I was like, "Well, that was cool." That was that was awesome. People are gonna think I'm crazy, but it's fine. So it's like when you experience those things, just hold on to them. Just freaking hold on to them because it was in that moment where literally was like, I'm so sick and freaking tired of people acting like I am crazy when this shit is real. Done. 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 Um, I also experienced someone offering me to sell my soul for fame and fortune. I declined and he disappeared after. Yeah, those are tests. Those are tests. hmm Someone saying, someone said to me once, like, because um, they had written a book, and I think it was MGM or something tried to buy it from them or wanting to turn it into a film or whatever. And it was about other famous people because they knew a lot of famous people. And they just want to kind of like release it and make money on it. And they were like, no, no, you have to. She was like, no, I'd have to like sell my soul. And then she turns to me and she was like, would you sell your soul? And I was like, you're getting creepy again. This feels like a test. I work with Archangel Michael a lot. His numbers are 27 and 77. Yeah, they are. They are. 77's my homie. I gotta go. Thanks for the time, wisdom. Have a good night. I see why I subscribe to you. You keep it real. Yeah, I don't, I like, there's not a bone in me that is fake. Like, my body, my energy can't do it. Like, when people say, "Oh, some folks are, like, walking truth," like, I'm one of those people. I will always tell you the truth, even if it sucks, and I will always tell you the truth about everything I know spiritually, um, and I will like, so many times I was out on the road, like, I didn't finish all the podcast episodes, but there was one where I met Mr. Chow, and I did a whole thing on him, and he was out on the street because people thought he was crazy, but he wasn't. He was super gifted. He was so gifted. And my energy kept, we were pulling each other in. And we had this conversation at GameStop, but he was like, the people at the GameStop were protecting him and taking care of him. And every morning he would do yoga outside of GameStop because I think he was also Buddhist or something like that. And he would talk about his experience with his ancestors and how nobody would believe him, and they basically deemed him as crazy, and so he kind of lost his house, but I could see his ancestors around him who were trying to come through, and so I tried to make it easier for him and like help, and like clear his mind. So I was like pushing energy to him, like helping, and he was like, "What's happening to my mind?" And I was like, "I'm helping you out," and he was like, "Are you some kind of goddess?" And then he was like, "Don't tell." I was like, "No, we're chill. It's fine. I'm supposed to be doing this." But our gifts are meant for the world. They're not they're not meant for selfish reasons. They're not meant for you to just sit at home and judge people and watch The Matrix. That's not what they're for. It's irresponsible. That's why I love my gifts, and that's why I made a promise to Spirit and my ancestors that no matter what, I would do everything I could to help anybody else and normalize it because so many people go unseen. Um, and colonialism has torn away a lot of the truth of who we are, and that time's over. And this spiritual warrior, right? Can you tell? Um, Here to help with that. So I actually died and came back on time. The story is on my channel. Oh, so cool. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, no wonder you're so gifted. The people I met today, they were so cool. They were super gifted. I loved it. They also had like an ancestor that did a lot of like voodoo and voodoo that was passed to them. I was trying to like explain it to them. They're like, my family thinks I'm crazy. And I'm like, nah, you're not. You're fine. And they like came over while I was praying my Rudraksh. And I was like, and then they're like, I saw you meditating, so I wanted to interrupt. It's like, okay, I'm here to help. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Yeah, the first time I connected with the seraphim, its energy like sent me like I had to call it quits for the day. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. That's why you have to just like keep um hi Wiz. I just saw you on TikTok. Hello, hello. Um that's why it's good to continue to work with your energy. If you ever need help, please do come to Z School for the Gifted. Um, I connect with Seraphim all the time, every day. So in the beginning, it can feel like a lot. Um, and so clearing, cleansing, knowing how to shield, knowing how to hold containers for energies too within your body, depending on how your energy flows, is going to be really important because some seraphim are massive. Like there's no massive doesn't even cut it. Same thing with certain deities. Um, and so when you really can tap in, like really tap into their energy, it's going to feel very overwhelming because your physical body isn't meant to do it, but your spiritual body can do it. Um, and so sometimes it's easier to like tap in the astral so that you're not overwhelming your physical body in the beginning. And like also like eating and exercising has to increase like like you have to eat really clean, like nothing processed, like all sorts of stuff, right? Um, and move a massive amount because the amount of energy that flows through your body has to be alchemized somewhere. So a lot of like my clients who are like seers and things like that, they have very different regimens for alchemizing energy because your physical body has to catch up with your spiritual body. And if your body is weak, your physical body is weak, um, you're not going to be able to receive that energy. It's too much energy. Um, and your mind is also not going to be well, right? Like that's why I always tell people about lion's mane. Lion's mane helps with cognitive function when you're on your spiritual journey, and it helps to keep you from feeling like you're going bananas. And it keeps you sharp, but also being in community with teachers like me who also hold you accountable. It's important because sometimes people start to connect with different energies and think like they can just lose themselves within that space, and it's not supposed to be that way. Like that's how you will lose everything. Right, you will literally become so detached that you'll forget about your reality and everyday living. And so for someone like me and like teaching my clients who are seers, I have to teach them repeatedly like how to ground themselves back into the earth. And just because you receive information, just because you can see information, just because you can remote view information or spirit is talking to you, doesn't mean that that's the decision that you make. It means that it is a possibility, because seers see all things. um so it's like you have to learn how to build your physical and your mental capacity to really wrap your energy around seraphims and deities and things like that. And you can also ask them, like, if you create a soul contract, which is what I teach in Z School for the Gifted, like, to have the seraphim connect in other people or through other things so that it doesn't fully overwhelm you. Dang, is it already late? Yeah. Uh, so Wadi, look at those little pieces. I think I actually prayed away the early deaths of my parents. I kept seeing signs. My father is my best friend. I think God had mercy. Oh, I love that you're connected so much. What is that, Tanya? Oh, tea. Yeah, I noticed. I might just do that and join. I don't usually say that. Yeah, everybody's welcome. Like, I literally invite you all to come to Z School for the Gifted, because not only are you going to get your questions answered, like if there's messages or spiritual tips or even food things, because I'll see what you're eating. I'll see what you're eating and see what you're doing. So if you try and hide, it's not gonna work. um, I can share that information with you, because opening your gifts and being on a spiritual awakening, it's your entire life. It's your entire life, but it's also understanding how oppression works, and accountability, and it's so much more, right? Like, I do all of those things for people because I can see what happens when people try to spiritually bypass, and it's like, you're only going to be able to come to class so many times and keep talking about other people until, like, I will literally let you know, like, enough is enough, right? It's time to move on, and this is how we're going to do it together, right? And you'll always receive work afterwards. And something that also mention to people, it's if you don't have like an ancestor book or like a grim or something, I always recommend that you come to Z School for the Gifted, because there's so much information that I share and channel for people, that it's the perfect way for you to open that channel and just start taking notes so you can pass it on and you can keep it with you. And while you're out in nature, you're doing things, you can begin to document stuff for yourself. And then it becomes a living book for you to put things into for other folks, and other family members can contribute to it down the road, or if you have community or children that you pass it on to, it's great for that. But also it helps with muscle memory if you have access to be able to write. But it's just a really great place, and it's casual. Like, you don't have, like, I do have people turn on the cameras, it's for safety reasons. Um but, like, if you need to get up and walk, if you wanna show up in your pajamas, if you wanna, like, be dancing in the back, I don't really care what you do. Like, I'm a very inclusive teacher, because I don't believe in traditional teaching, and not everybody learns the same. Um, so it's like, you go do whatever you need to do. When it's your turn, I will talk to you, and then we will do our like meditations and all of that. And we like call in all the energies, say thank you to all the energies. And it's a really beautiful community. And so you get to know everybody in there, and they just have been loving up on each other. And it's so great, because usually whatever class you go to, you're meant to be there. You're meant to receive those messages. You're meant to um, be within that healing container, because we've been taught for so long to do everything by ourselves, and we're not meant to do things by ourselves. We are supposed to be in community. And so it always makes me laugh when folks are like, I'm looking for my soul tribe, and I'm like, oh, come to Z's School for the Gifted and be a part of community, right? Invitation. And then they're like, I'm not really sure." And I'm like, okay, I see what you're signaling to the universe. Right? It's like, okay, right, whatever you want to do. Um, Silver Blade. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm a seer. I'm a seer. So You can't pull the wool over me, my friend. Can't pull the wool over me. You're spot on about the eating part, though. Yeah, eating is important. Um, I have not been able to sleep lately because of my gifts. I also feel like I have a huge world-changing mission in this life. I stay very busy day and night. Yeah, if you need help with grounding practices and things like that and getting clarity, like we're literally doing that this week. I don't think it's a coincidence. Um, I don't know what time zone you're in, but it's Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. I highly recommend folks come if you feel like you're ready to. I struggle with crippling anxiety a lot. I use a lot of CBD. I used to use weed, but I think I knew, yeah, the higher you go in your spirituality, the worse weed is going to treat you. And at some point, you'll probably tweak out so bad. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I see it happen like 99% of the time with people who are spiritually awakening. And because they're not addressing their anxiety and their fear and not doing the healing, they try and self-medicate and say that it's herbal medicine, but they're not getting to the root cause of what's actually going on. And so then your body just starts full ass rejecting it to the point where you will literally tweak so hard and think you're dying. So this is super common. There was someone else in the class actually who was asking about weed, and they were being tempted back into it. And it was just a reminder of like, if you want a different life, you have to be different. And so if you are telling me that you didn't enjoy the life when you were using a lot of CBD and you were smoking weed and all those things, why exactly would you go back to it if you're wanting a different life? Right? Like and I have had my entire life like severe anxiety, PTSD, depression, eating disorders, like body dysmorphia, you name it. Um, and I will tell you that I have successfully healed those things, and it's what I specialize in as well. And also, I have my clients are also neurodivergent as well. So, like, you are in safe hands if you ever feel called to join. And I appreciate you also sharing it because a lot of times it's just trapped trauma that needs to come out and your band-aid just isn't working anymore. And so at some point you have to accept the healing, right? As a wadi. Yep, yep, it is. To you. I stay in California near LA, La Puente. So you're in the right time zone. So you should just come by. You should just come on Thursday, say hi, be in the community. Uh And, some folks, when they fill out the form, they just put they don't have questions. I usually go to all the folks who have questions first, and folks who don't have questions, if there's time, I will get to them. And they have, sorry, I just saw something. Um, hopefully it'll come back. The eating has to be clean. It was me asking about weed. Oh, I still haven't smoked. I refuse to. Yes, Shani. I didn't want to out you. Yay, I'm so glad that you haven't. When you were telling me that, I was like, "Oh, Shawnee, you're being tested. You can do this." I have recently discovered, yeah, Damayana is great. Damayana is amazing for depression and anxiety. Um, the thing about like herbal teas and things like that, like, because I think Damayana is like a nervine as well, which is why it works so well. Um, but they're always best used when you are doing your healing work, right? Because there's only so far that the plant can help you. And then there's the spiritual aspects, right? Like a lot of people forget to speak to their teas and honor their teas and pray over them before they drink them and set intentions. So, yeah, Damayana is amazing. Damayana. If you also have depression, adding lemongrass is really good. I always recommend fresh lemongrass. Um, a lot of like Asian markets usually sell it fresh. I used to drink a ton when I was in Costa Rica. I was like, lemon it's also, like, one of my soul plants. Um, where is yeah, it's all virtual, so you can just tune in. You can tune in and join the community. All are welcome. You're welcome to just observe, you're welcome to talk, you're welcome to just be in the energy. Yeah, no, I do it all virtual because folks are from all over the world. Um, at least for this Thursday evening class, it's more like in the US, but when I did it all the other times, there were like folks from all over the world. Um, so yeah, you're totally welcome to join. You don't have to you don't have to drive anywhere. Um, I also like love teaching it virtually because then folks can integrate afterwards. Integration is really important. And sometimes after integration, it's not always best to drive um, because it's a type of like energy clearing or cleansing or alchemizing or processing and things like that. So I always recommend that, you know, if you can come in your PJs and like you're already ready to wind down after the call, like I highly recommend doing that. Um, and you know, not having any like lights on and stuff like that, maybe some soft lighting or salt lamps so you can continue to like fall asleep and like really let the energy move through you. So yeah, I like to do it that way. Like if it was a retreat, I would just send people to bed. I would just send people to bed because that's what the energy is kind of like, especially for these journeys that we've been doing. I've been doing a lot of deep meditations right now and helping people root back into their energy so they can heal and stay grounded and manifest at the same time and like feel nourished again. So it requires you to sleep usually afterwards. I have too much trauma to drive far. I often get lost in it. Yeah, that's fair. That happens. Yeah. Sometimes it's not easy to drive, like when there's that type of trauma going on. I love how vulnerable you are, Gio. Thanks for sharing that. Love lemongrass tea. I also use lemongrass essential oil in my body butters. Yeah, it's amazing. Me too. Not in my body butter, but in my body oil. It's also great. It's lucky. It's great for luck, um, as well. Mr. I thought that said Mr. Wiggle Right. It kind of, no, it's not close. Mr. Wiggy Bright. Um, we've been talking lots of grounding words. Um, tell me first why you're ungrounded. Is it in your chest? Are you anxious? I miss so much, but yeah, we need to just go to bed, rest, and heal. Yeah, Tanya, are you coming on Thursday? Are you coming on Thursday? I grew up in the hood, pretty fun, and feel like I carry a lot of people on my shoulders as a natural born leader. Yeah, that makes sense. I spent some of my time in the hood as well. I totally understand what that means. But also, I feel like hood-wise, it's more like community centered anyways. Like I feel like that's the energy. And so it's easy for certain folks to kind of step forward into that role and then take on too much energy. Yeah. Um, yeah, I totally understand that too. It's not easy. It's not easy whatsoever. Um, Lemongrass is so good in Thai coconut milk based soups. Yes! Oh my goodness. I love Thai everything. I made Thai coconut milk soup the other day. Or not the other day. I say the other day, like I feel like that's a black thing sometimes. Like when you say the other day, but it's really like a month ago. It was so good. I've got a relationship thing going on. Waiting on someone. We never wait for love. There you go. That's your grounding word. A lot of people are being tested right now with situationships. So let me just tell you this. If you're waiting for a situationship, you will fail your test. Hi, what's Thursday? Oh, it's Z School for the Gifted. So I teach every Thursday, and we've been journeying to bring manifestations forward. And so we just went through a huge clearing of the energetic channels and chakras and things like that. And so this next class is called Becoming the Muse. So it's also about manifestations and things like that. But um, every class you can submit a form and ask questions, and I will answer them and like channel information for you as well. And then we'll go into meditation and things like that. And it's a group session and it's virtual. Tanya, if you have not been, you need to go. Yeah, it's easy to care a lot about people, especially when you're from that environment. I have the same thing. Um, and then there's also like this energy of like, you don't really want anybody to experience the things that you've experienced. So you kind of take on this parenting role and you forget about yourself. And so I suspect that for you, right now, your lesson is probably to take care of yourself since you've been taking care of a lot of people. Um, I will have to order some lemongrass. Yeah. See if you can find it fresh. I kill it with frankincense. I put it in my hair during shower. Yeah, frankincense is so powerful. I love frankincense. I have some on my desk. Like, that's how I am with all things, but I make my own like oils and things like that. So yes, coconut soup. Gimme. Which, by the way, you can open a coconut from the outside thing with a stick. Every time I see people open coconuts with all these tools, I'm like, you need to hang out with more locals. Do you think they had those tools back then? Um, what do I do then? With your situationship, you end it. You end it. You end it so you can call in what you are actually wanting. The thing is, if you sit in the energy of being not decisive about this situation, that is what the universe is going to manifest for you. When you decide, I want X, Y, and Z, and I'm ready for such and such, that is when it comes in. I was literally just having this exact conversation with someone that I met through this like friends group thing, and they were also in a situationship, and they were like waiting for the guy to lead, and I was like, do you like him? Like, like I was asking some questions, I was like, do you actually like him? It's like, well, I have a lot of feelings for him. And I was like, well, that's different than like, do you like him? Like, do you see yourself? When they're like, I'm not really sure. And I'm like, maybe you should take a step back and try and figure out that. Also, has he made any sort of like decisions about where this is going, dates, and like all that kind of stuff? And she was like, no. She's like, I've been kind of waiting for him. And I was like, you need to stop waiting. Stop waiting. She's like, thanks for confirming that. It's like, you're welcome. You manifested me, apparently. I'm off. I'm off. I gotta go run some errands. But when you are okay with waiting and taking less than what you deserve, that is what you receive. Is what you receive. It's also like why I tell folks all the time, like if you are manifesting a twin flame or a soulmate and all that stuff, and you're a seer, right? We see things years in advance, like years in advance. You just have to let it go. Like you can't throw energy into potential in people, right? Yes, can you come together and grow together? Yes, right? Like that's normal, that's healthy. But if you're constantly only coming into union with people where there's like they have the potential to change, that's things that are being reflected back about you. So do yourself a favor and like show yourself some love and tenderness and say like No, I don't want that relationship. I'm gonna call in something else because I deserve something better. For if you're confused in a relationship, it probably isn't the one. Yeah, yeah. And spirit does miraculous things. So right when you think someone's meant for you, they ain't. Just so you know. Oh no, I was typing and missed all you said. Oh no. Tony, come on Thursday. Um, yeah, relationships are a tricky thing sometimes. But I feel like they're tricky with spirituality in particular because um before you do your like healing work of your sitting in your self-worth and your authenticity and being comfortable, you don't really understand why you're manifesting people you don't fully enjoy or why things don't work out. And it's usually because they're not meant to work out, but also you are unhealed. Not that healing ever stops, but you know what I mean? Like you haven't healed the parts of you that will magnetize someone towards you that is meant for you. And when you can do that, life becomes easier because then the right folks will always find you. And then you can just magnetize options and choose from that, especially if you are in more of the feminine energy, right? Gender aside, said. There's no confusion. It's just no 3D contact, but we have spent a lot of time in the astral over the past several days. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Don't get caught in the astral. Because it's so easy to do in the spiritual space. You can do your connecting in the astral every once in a while and then let it go. Because if you want to manifest it and you want to actually meet them in person, the best thing for you to do is let it go. It doesn't mean that they don't exist and all that um stuff. Uh it's just like, you know, your life is also here. And so when you feel fulfilled and all those things, like then that manifestation will move from the 5D into the 3D and you'll have even more fun. Does What do you mean edu equipedia? Like from our ancestors? Is that what you mean? I'm going to be completely honest. I think my cousin and I have silver and an old soul as well. I Interesting, Geo. I mean, I don't really know what to say to that. Sometimes that also happens. What you do with your life is up to you. Um, I would also say, is that something that you want with a relative? Oh, my computer's gonna die. I'm gonna have to go in a minute. Let's see. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, years in advance. For real, for real. Yeah. Um, yeah, like and even I was just telling someone today, there's a lot of people that I started to get energies about when I was younger and I didn't realize it was them. Like when you start really going back. A couple of the people that I like dated, I met versions of them like a year and a half in advance before I met them, like little pieces of them, people that look just like them. I was told they are my destiny helper and we aren't just a totally ice cold relationship. It's just long distance, shall we say for now. Yeah, totally get that. Um, Geo, yeah. I took them out of the chat. I didn't, they're being weird. I have personally experienced the Bible being for especially in Psalms. Yeah, Psalms is super, super powerful. It's very, very powerful. Lots of powerful prayers and things in there. Um, I say psalm prayers all the time. They're great for protection and spiritual work. Um, I'm not really someone, I don't consider myself like super religious. The person I was talking to today, which is why our energy kind of found each other. He was like, he was like, I'm Christian, but I'm not like the other Christians. He's like, I also practice Buddhism and I also practice this and I believe in agape love, and like all these things. And I was like, uh, yes, I totally understand. The multiple versions thing is a trip. Yeah, it's super wild. It's kind of cool because you get to meet different aspects of them. Um, you get to meet, like, for one person that I dated, like, you can kind of start to see your energy align. And the first time I met their energy was in, where was I? It was near Santa Barbara. What is that little town? I can't remember. First time I met them there, and they were just channeling a bunch of information. Um, and they kind of give me this energy that look like Jesus a little bit. And I was like, you kind of look like Jesus. Um, and then uh and then they left, and then I traveled for like a couple months, and then I ended up in Sedona, and then I met another version of them that popped up. And they're like, oh, we were just at the Grand Canyon. We had this, like, you just keep meeting versions of them until you actually meet them. Uh, it's super wild because usually there's some sort of lesson that you need to know about that's really important before meeting them. Um, yeah, just like how you meet your own versions of yourself. It's like very fascinating. It's the most fascinating thing I think I've I've ever seen. I think the coolest one was me meeting, my second married self. That was really cool, and, like, asking if they were happy and, like, all the things, 'cause they are you, um, and so it can give you a lot of comfort, and and I was like, "Oh, like, who did you or who's your husband?" Right, I'm like, "Who's your husband? Who did you end up choosing?" Um and them like talking about it and the child that they have, and like why we were outside for the same reason. They were like, I don't usually come here. I don't know why I'm here. And I'm like, I don't know. um and then I would ask questions. I was like, oh, like, is your husband happy? I like, and usually all of the things that they are saying are all the things that I've seen already. And so that's how you can also kind of confirm it. Like, they'll match your visions and your prophecies in your 3D. Um, and so I was like, oh, like, what are they planning? They're like, oh, a road trip or whatever. And I'm like, what are they waiting for? Like, I start to get like very like girlfriend. Like, what are they waiting for? I get the bits and pieces of them too. Yeah, that makes sense. Boots. Uh, I don't know the Psalms off the top of my head, but I will write that down. Psalm 35. The Psalms help me because I am stuck in rest. So it's gotten better since praying them. Yeah, you have an interesting energy. May your paths be dark and slippery with the angel of the Lord pursuing close behind you. Yipes! Dang, I didn't know that was in there. Has to be dark and slippery. Fighting words. So true. No, that is like, I wouldn't have guessed that was in there. I'm not an avid reader per se. I hear what spirit wants me to hear, and then spirit will reveal it to me in the Bible. As we all know, as my other stories of me ripping my Bible on accident because I'm just not graceful when it comes to the Bible. My pages are thin. Why are they so thin? Yep, astounding. Wow. Yeah, Tanya, if you have any questions about it, feel free to let me know. Psalm 109. Okay, I'm gonna write this down too. Unless, are you gonna quote it? 109. I like that you're like quoting things. Um, Understanding about what you are saying, not the Psalms. Okay. Yeah. Um, there's many miraculous things that happen. And it's 144 on the recording. It's there's many miraculous things that happen in the world. And again, like I can't say it enough. When you truly forget what you think you know about anything, like that's when your life changes. That's when it becomes super magical. That's when you can stop worrying about the little things and you stop being so vain and you stop engaging in behavior that's like beneath you. You stop saying like, "Oh, things happen to me," right? Like you start accepting life and who you are and the journey. Like you can always tell when people are in their ego because they're not in their journey. They're in their like I'm gonna sit in this negativity and tell you, right? I'm gonna tell you. Um People who observe their ego, they're very open and compassionate people because there's bliss in every moment, even the hardest times. Like when I think about all of the moments where I've experienced hardship or houselessness or trauma to my body, like I came out of it stronger and happier, and as awful as some of it was, I can pass that knowledge on to someone else and tell them like even when you think it's the darkest, there's always light. Um, and life just gets magical like that, right? Like, and that's when you like step into your purpose and in your destiny, and you can like really communicate with God and just let God or spirit, universe, your ancestors guide you. Like you just surrender, but there's still like a layer of healing and accountability and taking actions that um you must do, right? It's a co-creation, but life gets so much more enjoyable. And, you know, my friend, she's a seer, and her gifts have been opening, and it's been the coolest thing to see. And, spirit communicates through music and all these things. And I told spirit, I was like, I want my life to be like a video game. And so spirit will show me certain things like a video game anytime I quantum leap. And my friend was like, I keep hearing this song, and I was like, it's your sign, follow that song. Like literally follow it. Uh and that's how my journey started. I threw away my calendar. I kept seeing butterflies, and then I just followed the butterflies everywhere. Even if it was on a sign, I followed it like the Matrix, literally. And then I started to see white rabbits, man on a motorcycle, white rabbit. I followed him, followed literal people's tattoos, and then I ended up at the river where there were rabbits. Then it like my business just like it's like the weirdest thing. Like you just go and just have fun, and life is just freaking wild. It's so wild because spirit steps in and you realize that like you were never alone. Like I don't think people understand that until you experience the magic on that level of like, spirit, I'm really having a hard day today. Can you show me at least what my future looks like? And then it's like boom, 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 and then it's hard not to believe. Yeah, shedding the layers. Hello, hello. Totally. Yes. There's actually a song on my YouTube, Geo. It's 528 hertz. It's solfeggio. It's great. It's the soundtrack to the Hidden Fairies podcast that I'll be dropping soon. Where it's just like nighttime stories that anybody can listen to. I love solfeggio. Happy morning. 963 God frequency. Yeah, God frequency is great. I put that in a lot of my videos sometimes on TikTok. Psst. One love. It's giving Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. In the beginning, I saw a lot of Alice in Wonderland, and um I still see Spider-Man. I made jokes about it too, to people in the beginning, but I stopped saying it, and I would just put little nuggets and things to see if people were paying attention. And today, when I was at the river, uh, Spirit was like, "Look up." And so I like looked up into the side, and there's like the Spider-Man put into the sand, all weird. And then um, when one of the men that like came over started talking to me, they immediately picked up the Spider-Man. It was like twisting all of its legs. And then Spirit was like, "So you know he's safe." And I was like, "Thank you." And so it's like, Spirit will talk to you in many ways. And I walked into the store and that song from Spider-Man was on. Whatever that song is, which honestly I don't like that song. Um, but you just ease into it. Like you realize that Spirit was always there. We just had our heads up our butts. It's so like that follow your personal breadcrumb trail back to yourself. Yeah, for sure. I also see butterflies a lot when I walk by faith. Yeah, always walk by faith. Yeah, follow the freaking right white rabbits. I'm not even kidding you. When I was in Mount Shasta, my friend Miriam and I followed a white rabbit through the forest. She literally ran, it was like two trees. I think I told this last time, it was like two trees and a bunny in the middle. And I wasn't outside yet, and I just hear her running. And she was like, "Get out here!" I was like, "Okay." And we ran back. She was like, "Look, it's just sitting." And it was like still sitting there, staring, like waiting, like a freaking cartoon. She was like, "We need to follow this rabbit." And I was like, "I know." It was wild. And we just like ran, like, and the bunny, like the minute we started running, the bunny started hopping. And she was like, "Where do you think we're going?" I was like, "I don't know, but we're quantum leaping out of this craft." It was great. It was a fun time. Every day is like that. I'm so glad, Zawadi. Yeah, enjoy life. That's why I tell my story. So I know this person is the one for me, but I should probably let it go. I get that. What is meant to me will be me. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of healing in, you know, letting it go and like asking yourself, why do you feel so attached to it if you do feel that way? I've struggled a lot with growing up. I still feel like a kid, teenager. I'm currently 23, going on, going to be 24 this month. You're not even that old. None of us are old. Age is just a number. I'm 35. Yeah. Enjoy life. Um, I like stopped hanging out with people who were too stuffy. Like when people are too rigid, it's hard for me because I live within the realm of spirituality and do inner child work, and that's how I bring manifestations out into the world. But I also work with kids and like do stuff for adults, and so that dreaminess is what heals a lot of people. And enjoy that side of you that feels young, like keep it forever. People who have that energy are meant to birth different things into the world. Like I was always like shunned for being different, but my different was the same person that like channeled massive inner child healing meditations that heal a bunch of people right now. So it's like be in that energy and magnetize friends like that. Like, I magnetize fairy friends all the time. My fae sisters, and it just is what it is. Like, like, enjoy it. Don't let yourself be around anybody who makes you question it whatsoever. I've removed all my friends, past friends that were like that, even family members, relationships. Like, when they start to get too rigid, it's like, while yes, I understand it, certain times, like, people need to be able to have fun, and when people can't have fun, it's because they care too much what other people think about them, and that is a sad way to live. It's a very sad way to live. We don't just go to work and then pass away. Ironically, I have an old picture of myself putting Spidey in the sand. Hey, confirmation for you. Oh my gosh, I've been seeing that word lately, faith. Yeah. Oh crap, my computer's gonna die. I have 5% quantum leaping out of this crap. Yes. That's literally me all the time. Like, no. When I came back from one of my trips, I was like, I quantum leaped so hard. I came home, shit just fell off the wall and broke. Like it just was like and I just like I put my feet up on the couch and I was like, oh yeah, I'll clean that up tomorrow. But it's like I own that and like it's so fun to me. Like ordinary people would be like, this broke. Like I need and I'm like, we just quantum do you know what tomorrow's gonna be like? Do you know what now is like? Do you know what we just did? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna see so many Spider-Man. Like, it's like life becomes so much fun because it's you dancing with the universe and manifesting. It's so fun. It's so freaking fun. Like, my coach was like making a video and they were walking and then he was like, the energy is just gonna be he was trying to say weird, and then he, like, stepped in a pile of crap, and he was just like, It's like, it is what it is. Like, you just keep going. You just ignore it. Like, when you're fully detached from your ego, like, it's like, I don't it's not that you, like, don't care, but kind of, like, you're not disassociated, you're just at peace, and it's like, "Okay, so that thing broke. So that happened." And I'm supposed to be emotionally attached to this because why, right? Also, have a chain with a word. I love that. Yeah, when I was younger, I used to write keep the faith obsessively on my notebooks. I didn't know why. Now I know. I think I'm supposed to be a professional skateboarder. Oh, fun. It's like your photo. I love that. You should do that. Do it all the time. We need some more. All of them, they're all like older now, like the old they're not super old, but like old in skateboard world. Do you love singing? Why do you not use your gift now when you speak? Why not sing? Why? Who sent you? I do love singing. Um, I've been spending a lot of time in silence and singing at the river because I was cleansing a lot of energy out, but it's actually on my list of things. I have this paper with my singing healing right now. Um, I've been sitting really deeply in my dancing and painting, and I could sing all the time. I do love singing. I'm a very comical singer too, because I love like musical theater. And so if anything comes out, that comes out first. Because I just love acting a fool. Exactly. So true. No fun is so sad. Yeah. I have seen and can sense demons in people and have actually seen spirits. Yeah. Everything is just frequency. When you can see one frequency, you can see all frequencies. The spider reminds me of my manifestations are safe. Cool. See, everything happens for a reason. This is why we share our stories, people. I bet if you wrote a screenplay about quantum leaping with your music, it would be such an amazing movie series. Who sent you? Did you know that I write screenplays? Did you know this? Did you know this? I should do that. I don't talk about the things that I'm manifesting, but I will say you are sneaky, sneaky, Tanya. I feel like you've been on here before and you've said some things. I'm gonna take a screenshot. I hope you don't mind, because that was just too good. It was too good. I just had an adventure and played guitar for some woodland spirits. Fun! Fun! Did you yodel? Is it like floating while I'm in upward direction? Is what like quantum leaping, like floating? Is that what you mean, Zawadi? Well, I love to ask that. Who sent you? I do it all the time because I know. You know what I mean? At this point, like, I mean, obviously I can I'll know like if I actually just tap into the energy, but because once you're with one ancestor and one energy, you're with all of them. And they're just like, I'm just gonna slap you in the face and slap you in the face and then slap you in the face. And then I'm gonna make you go on live. And then you gotta answer all these questions. And then you gotta blah blah blah. And then they're gonna be like, hey, guess what? Blah. And you're like, cool. You know what I mean? Awesome. Keep writing. I am. I'm writing so much. I'm writing so much. It's ridiculous, but I love it. In between my writing, I'm painting. I'm doing like stuff like this. I channel things. I like this one obviously looks like an ocean, but I have no fucking clue what this one is. It's not done yet. I'll know when it's done, but like I don't. Oh, do you see that little line that's trailing with my finger? Can you see it? Look at it. It's like a little zappy finger. That's wild. Um, I do not yodel, but it was within my capacity. Can you do that next time? I think it would be great. Just vibing back, sister. I feel like I have a spiritual connection to you. You seem oddly familiar. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like I'm connected to most of the people who tap into these lives. We're meant to talk to each other. We should all yodel. I'm so down, Tanya. I'm so down. If we just dump all of our yodels into a little drive and clip it together. Yodel crew. I'm going to retransmit your speech to the song He He Grand Rising. Peace, love. Yay! Go to the river. I love the river. I also love to draw intuitively. Yeah, it's so fun. I actually want to start doing my charcoal again because I used to draw like past loved ones and then like post it on social media for people. But I haven't done it in a minute. I haven't done it in a minute. You saw it, right? Zawadi, that's weird, right? It's a little zappy finger. Like, what the fuck is it's so funny. Zap. Maybe that's why all my shit never works. Like, if I'm like in a chaotic energy that day, nothing around me works. And then my friends will come and like click the button, and I'm like, I'm gonna go jump to the river. Yes. It sounds beautiful doing the loved ones art. Yeah. It's wild. I need to do it again. I stopped doing it because I was freaking myself out for a little bit, and then I started doing something else, ADHD style. Um, but it was fun because I like it's how I've connected a bunch of people, and um, I gave a drawing even to like my family and stuff of someone who passed away, and then I started drawing. Um, and I sent it to my friends, and it ended up being their grandma who had passed away. And then it connected them. They're still being connected. And I was like, no, like your grandma is literally coming to me in church and sitting next to me. You need to go to this church because they didn't want to go to church. They don't like church. And I was like, it's for your ancestors. And they wouldn't go and they wouldn't go and they wouldn't go and they wouldn't go. And then they finally went. And then there was a family member there who was like praying to find them, like praying to find them and connect their family back together. And now they're doing all these family reunions in the last couple of weeks. So I'm like, this is why we do this stuff, right? It's not about us. And then I drew someone, they kept coming through and they were so happy, but they wouldn't tell me much information. And then uh, it was maybe like 7 months later when I was in Costa Rica, I met this man named Juan, and it was his friend who had passed away. And I was like, this is going to sound so strange. Like, but he was really spiritual too. And it was just a really beautiful moment. And I always tend to meet people who I need to deliver messages to. I went to see the goddess Leonis and played the music for fun. As I was leaving, I heard her say, I'll be here when you're gone. Aww. I have a gift for being able to know a lot about people by seeing them, especially facial expressions. Yeah. Oh my God. You're one of those happy power folks. I have a old friend like that. I'm not surprised. My energy is wild. I also do amazing body work. What? Yeah, but it's freaking weird. So the way that looks is exactly, but it was on a a bigger scale. That's funky, man. When I was in Costa Rica a different time and I was standing amongst lemongrass and in ayahuasca and under this little pyramid. And when I was channeling ancestors and calling them in, that happened around my entire body. And my friend was like, "What?" It's like, "Oh, who knew?" So it recently confirmed to me that my prayers are very powerful. They are. Keep praying every single day. Always pray. Prayer is powerful. It's intention, it's energy. You're so funny, Barover. I always, I have like a fairy friend or can see a real fairy. Maybe you are a real life fairy. I am totally a real life fairy. I own it now. Um, and I get confirmations from spirit about it all the time. I literally meet people who are like, I'm a fairy too. And I'm like, I didn't tell you I was a fairy. And uh like Sookie Stackhouse things always follow me around all day. And another man I met today, the first man who came, um, his dog's name was Sookie. And then I was like, oh, then I wanted to know everybody on YouTube. Would you choose Eric Northman or would you choose Bill Compton? I've always loved fairies since I was little. I had fairy dolls, fairy everything, fairy magic. I literally, every place I go, I meet people who are like, we're fae. Don't you wish people just listen when you give awesome messages like the first time? Yeah, if they don't, they don't. You know what I mean? Dang. Absolutely real. 10,000% is real. You got the men lining up. I'm telling you. So, were you on the other live, Tanya? For the relationship one? If you haven't, my computer's gonna die. If you haven't watched it, it's really funny. My friends and I bear everything about relationships, and we were talking about manifestations, and so I have been manifesting it, but there was something she told me to do that I forgot. And so it was like a sacred yes for relationships. And my newest manifestation trick, because I hold my energy back from manifesting because she liked to explain as like I have a very strong Queen of Wands energy, so I can magnetize things to me, and sometimes it gets a little chaotic. And so I shut down to love because also my trauma and things like that, and being abused and all that kind of stuff. And so then I told her, that I've been walking out each day saying, "May the best man win." And then I actually made the shirt because in the call we talk about me making a shirt that says that, and I made it. And then I wrote my sacred yes. And then, I went. I've just been going out, and the energy has been funky, like so weird. Like there was someone sitting across from me who could feel the energy too, and like my ex walked up all random, and I was like, "The f are you doing here?" And then he left, and then, I didn't, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna be inside," and I'm like, "I don't care." Um, and then the minute I, said no to him, then another man came. She was like, "Does this always happen to you?" And I was like, "Nope. My friend said I should just manifest things." So, I walk out every day saying, "May the best man win," and then he was like, "I just I have to, talk to you," and it gets all, really weird, and I'm like, "This energy, maybe I need to, cool it." And today I had the urge to go to the river, and I met, 4 different men, and then I watched this man in the water. There were, no feminines around. I was like, "This is why I don't always use my manifestations because 'cause I'm like, I don't really know what's happening right now." Yeah. Can you tell me about the light pendulum in my hand that's going crazy like helicopter? What did you ask? Yep, one of them. Yeah, manifesting. Oh my gosh, I have 1% left. If my computer shuts off, it just is what it is, people. Yeah. I've been in my divine feminine energy hard, no pun intended. Um, and just like my friend was like, just have fun. And I was like, wand. It's like, okay. I know you are. Maybe you're the real life fairy I wish for. Fun. Sawadi, that's so cute. Of course I am. I'm literally the fairy medicine woman. That relationship live was everything. I loved every moment. I love the idea for the manifestation, love intimacy journal. Yeah, that shit was awesome. I didn't get an intimacy journal yet, but I need to. But I feel like if I go down that path right now, I'm gonna overwhelm myself. Oh no, not the X roll up. Yeah, yeah. It happens, during this energy. Exes just show up. I was like, oh, but I blocked you. Um, Maybe the right manifesting, not all of them. Put the ones, yeah. Yeah, yes, this is why I always tell people you have to be intentional about what you say because like me saying, "May the best man win." It's like, what did I do? I don't really care though. It's fun, enjoy life. If you're single, ready to mingle, like myself, you just enjoy life. Just let people sweep you off your feet, and just you'll notice because men will just start looking at you if you're manifesting a masculine. They're all smiley and they want to talk and all these things, and you smile, but you just receive it. Like, why not? This guy almost forgot his transportation. One down sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I would say that. I'm actually afraid of relationships and dating. That happens. I feel you. Thank you, universe. Oh, amen to that. Yeah. I bet my computer's gonna die any second. So I think I should probably get going before I can't say bye. Bye, everybody on TikTok. I'm gonna head out and then I'm gonna um, say goodbye to all of you. But my friends and I are actually thinking of doing another relationship one because we felt like it was really fun and we want to dig into some more topics. So, excuse me. I hope you all come join C School for the Gifted. And I will see you on Thursday at 6 p.m. This has been so fun. I'm sending you lots of love. Good night, everybody. I'll see you later.